device has a brand new recharging overshield. It'll keep you safe while building is busted. Till then, keep on sprinting.
Yo, what's good with you? Back in black with another video. If you guys are new to the channel and you love shooting games just like me, make sure you aim for that like button and shoot that subscribe button as well. Today, we are talking about some Fortnite, and if you haven't been living under a rock like, Patrick from SpongeBob or something like that, you will know that they have had a brand new update. And the biggest gimmick of this update, or I guess lack thereof, is that they're removing building. And I mean, this kind of has some pros and cons to it, and I kind of just wanted to go over what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and share my opinions, and hopefully you guys will share yours too. Let's get into it. So the best thing about this update, and my personal favorite thing about this update, is the thing that I alluded to earlier in the preview, and it's the fact that there's no building now. And I'm sure a lot of you guys are going to share in this sentiment, and I mean, to you few who are, the skyscraper Bob the Builder type dudes who you run into at the end of every game, you don't have to run into those anymore. And it's a blessing, in my personal opinion, a long time coming to see you guys getting nerfed into the ground. Nah, I'm just playing. But for real though, it is kind of nice and, a little bit of a breather to not have to worry about, somebody erecting a 3-story building, or, trapping you in a box and then editing you into a pump shot headshot at the end of every game. And yeah, I mean, it's just a relief, honestly, to have to, actually use your environment or, what's around you to your advantage in a gunfight. Piggybacking off of what I just said, yeah, I mean, there's more emphasis on guns now, and that means you have to actually be good at aiming your gun and hitting your target if you want to win a game. No longer is it a matter of how, good you can build and how well you can avoid or put yourself in a, advantageous situation as far as like high ground is concerned. If you can't aim, that's going to be your downfall, and that's usually how you're going to end up dying. So, to me, somebody who's more so into like, I'm not so much into building, I'm more so into just aiming my gun and getting busy with the dude, like, you know what I'm saying, pause. But yeah, if you can't aim, then that's just going to be your L. And speaking of which, to combat the lack of building, what they also added into this game was a new mantling ability to where you can basically jump on the edge of a wall and pull yourself up. I personally feel like it's a good alternative to not being able to just build ramps to get to the high ground anymore. You can still jump and pull yourself up if you're, if you can jump high enough to actually grab the ledge. And with all that being said, I feel like there's more of an emphasis on positioning and, using your environment in this game now, which kind of brings it back to a more bare bones, like how Fortnite was back in the beginning, where building wasn't super like all the rage, or at least at the very least everybody wasn't, or a lot of people wasn't very good at it, to where they would be building all the time every chance they get, or as soon as you shoot at them. So I think that's a good thing. I mean, if you already have the high ground in a situation, you're more than likely going to win that gunfight because you already took the time to think about it and pre-process where you should be, especially in a battle royale, which I feel like positioning should be important in these kind of games, because if not, then yeah, I don't know, what's the point of being a battle royale to where you gotta get in the circle and be in the best place to where you gotta shoot everybody else who's trying to come to where you are, because everybody knows that's the best place on the map to be, or at least in that certain zone anyway. That's how I feel about it anyways. Moving on. So while the things that I really do like about this update make the game great in my personal opinion, or at least take it back to a point where it felt more fresh and pure in my heart, and it wasn't all about who can make the biggest skyscraper, they have introduced some things that have me kind of on the fence, or I have mixed feelings about. And the first thing that I wanted to address was the thing that they introduced to combat the fact that you can't build anymore, which is that they have given you 50 extra shield. And I mean, me being as understanding as I am, the first thing I want to say is that I get why this was introduced in the first place, because if you're not going to be able to build, and if you're caught like running out in the field, I mean, when somebody shoots at you, the first thing you're going to want to do is, hit that build key and try and make a wall or a little box so you don't, figure out, where you get shot from, or, try to mitigate the damage and not take anymore, especially if you're at low health. So, since you can't build anymore, they give you that extra 50 health. So if you get caught lacking and you're just running in the middle of the field, you can take a couple of extra bullets, and hopefully there's some cover nearby and you can just run to that and situate yourself or figure out where you're getting shot from or what have you. But In a game like Fortnite where there's already 200 health and it already kind of takes a long time to kill people, especially with the pool of guns that we have now, it kind of leaves me feeling torn on, both sides. Cause yeah, I mean, let's say you okay, so let's say you picked up the burst AR, right? That it shoots 2 bullets at a time. They do like 30 damage, and I mean, if we're being quite frank, if you're shooting somebody that has 250 shield, whether they're running out in the field or not, you're not going to kill them in that first magazine unless you hit literally like every shot. And I'm going to say, 9 players out of 10, including myself, is not going to be able to do that. So yeah, it's just like it already takes a long time to kill somebody. So if somebody's like not thinking, or if I catch them lacking out in the middle of a pasture running, I feel like that should be their L, and that should have been on them because they shouldn't have been out there in the first place. So if you're the game just automatically gives them 50 extra shields so they can avoid that death, which they probably would have got otherwise if the shield wasn't there. And I get it, because if I was on the side where I was running in the middle field, I would want some extra health if I was getting shot at, especially if I can't build. But at the same time, probably shouldn't have been out in that field in the first place. So that kind of, I don't know how I feel about that. I get it, but at the same time, the time to kill in this game is already pretty high. I don't know why you would want to make it higher, especially when most of the guns aren't hitting like that anyways. The next thing that kind of has me on the fence, or the next thing that I'm having mixed feelings about, is well, obviously the biggest point of contention in this game, or at least for this first part of the season, which is again the fact that you can't build at all. And I want to play devil's advocate here and say that not being able to build anything at all, it kind of defeats the whole purpose of the game being called Fortnite, does it not? Like yeah, the whole essence of this game is to be able to build stuff and craft, or whenever you're getting shot, you can build your way into a better situation. So I understand how they're trying to like shake things up, or change the meta or what have you, or give it a fresh approach, and I agree 100%. It does feel completely fresh. I love it. I'm sure it has brought a whole bunch of players back into the game who would not have played it otherwise. And that's kind of why I wasn't playing Fortnite most of the time, because at the end of the game, I would always run into somebody who could outbuild me, no matter how long I've been playing. The skill gap kind of just went out of the roof, for lack of better words. I can't out of the roof. That's a pun. But yeah, basically I just I can't I can't get down with the build masters. But at the same time, not being able to build at all kind of defeats the purpose of the game. And I feel like maybe some kind of middle ground could be reached, where maybe you can't hold 999 materials for 3 different types of materials, to where you can build a whole bunch of stuff. You can basically build a whole city for the amount of materials you can hold. I was thinking maybe like they could limit that, maybe like 100 for each material, or something like that, to where you can build some things, maybe like a 1-story wall. So if you're getting caught in the open running, you still have a chance to live. But at the same time, I don't think you should be able to erect the Empire State Building at a moment's notice, because that's just doing a little too much. And yeah, I don't know, maybe some kind of middle ground could be reached. Let me know how you guys feel about that. In the last section of this video, what I wanted to address was things that I am not particularly fond of, or things that I just straight up don't like so far playing Fortnite this season. And I'm gonna lead in with the biggest thing that I'm sure most of you guys already know about, and that's the simple fact that tanks are wilding right now. Like I can't play a single game without running into like 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 tanks. And the thing about it is, like, simultaneously at the same time, I have not seen one rocket launcher. And it's like, if there's going to be so many, if the whole theme of this thing is going to be like war and armored vehicles and stuff like that, where are all the stuff to combat all the armor? Where are the rocket launchers? The only thing that I have seen is C4, and it's like, yeah, okay, it's not easy to find, and you made it purple, I get it, I trying to boost the appeal or whatever, but like, I don't know, at the same time, it's like, why are the tanks so strong, and why is there not like enough stuff in the chest to combat them? I like I said, I haven't seen not one rocket launcher, so that's kind of wild to me. Another thing that I don't like right now is that SMGs are kind of dominating right now. I'm sure you guys can tell in the gameplay, or if it hasn't popped up yet, it'll probably pop up a little later. But you'll see, like, I find a gold SMG, and I was basically just going to town with that thing. And I feel like right now the meta, or as far as the guns are concerned, is close range oriented. What you want to do, or at least what I find the most success in, if you're not going to sit back super far away, is that you just want to find the strongest SMG that you can, preferably the fast firing one, and you just want to run up on dude, close the distance as much as you can, and just spray him down with the whole clip. And worst case scenario, you can pull out another gun and finish him with 1 or 2 bullets, preferably a shotgun, but that's neither here nor there. That's just me giving you tips. But yeah, like very SMG heavy meta right now. More often than not, whenever I die, it's to a SMG, and more often than not, whenever I kill somebody, I'm using an SMG, or it's a tank. But that's also neither here nor there. You gotta nerf those tanks, man. That's wild. The last thing I wanted to talk about, and of course, you know, the last thing that I wanted to lead this video off with, is why is this not a permanent game mode, and why did it even take y'all so long to introduce this into Fortnite in the first place? I'm sure for the longest time people have been complaining about how building was super OP and how the game wasn't fun anymore, because all people would do at the end is build up hella skyscrapers and have these build battles where they're just building in between each other and freaking closing off walls and opening walls and editing and stuff like that. I'm sure it was a lot of the thing that drove, you know, people who played it a lot away over time. It was one of the things that made me not want to play it as much. And yeah, it just kind of makes me wonder, like, why it never occurred to these people, hey, maybe we should just have a side game mode where there's no building whatsoever and people can just focus on, you know, aiming their guns and gun skill and positioning and situational awareness, and, you know, just all the things that essentially made a pure battle royale what a battle royale was to begin with, and not so much about who can press their keys on the keyboard, or, you know, switch to Builder Pro and build up a wall the fastest. So I understand that it's a whole skill in itself, and I'm not saying to take it out the game entirely. Obviously it has to place it's the whole essence of the game. I just feel like if for a game that wants to cater to everybody so much, and they do a very good job, by the way, which is why they're probably one of the best games out there right now, I just feel like they just should have took the time to make this a whole game mode and make it permanent to begin with. I'm enjoying myself so much this season, and I'm sure you guys have been enjoying playing this as well, aside from the tanks. But all that being said, let me know what you guys like about the season so far. Let me know what you guys are feeling about, and let me know what you guys don't like down in the comments. I kind of just hit on the stuff that was hitting me in the heart, but all in all, this game is doing great. These guys are doing a great job, and I've been enjoying playing it as much as you guys have, more than likely. Let me know how you guys are feeling down in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching. A like and a subscription will be appreciated. Feel free to check me out on Twitch at Black Guy YouTube if you guys are feeling frisky and want to watch me play live. Other than that, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have a lovely day, and I'll see you in the next one. Black Guy out.